Well, today I feel extremely fortunate to be able to interview one of boxing's most essential assets within society, making a fundamental, huge difference. I'm here with none other than Liam Starkey from Inclusive Hub. How are you, Liam?
I'm very well, Paul. Thanks for taking the time out to speak to me, mate. Appreciate
My
it.
absolute sincere pleasure. I'm wearing the Inclusive Hub t-shirt with phenomenal pride. I really am. So,
Thanks,
listen, I want to
mate.
let the viewers and everybody see whoever's going to watch this, and we're going to circulate the hell out of it to make sure that people get the recognition you guys deserve. But how, why, and when was Inclusive Hub started?
So back in 2016, my dad was running a boxing gym in Kirkdale. I'm not going to say the name because I don't really want to tie them into what we do. But in essence, the gym was asked by Liverpool Council. It's a Liverpool Council-owned gym. Was to be more inclusive. Now the gym is well known for producing world stars. It's a top well-known gym in Liverpool. So with it being a council-owned building, they contacted me dad, contacted the head coach as well at the time for a meeting, and asked about what actually goes on in the gym for the community, essentially. So the gym's quite elitist. There wasn't many people actually going in the gym on a daily basis. It might have been open for a few hours in the morning for the general public, but only for a few hours. A massive gap in terms of nothing actually happening in the building. And then later on in the evening, might have been, well, there would have been amateur boxers going in, which is all well and good. But the council were basically saying, we're counting how many people are going through the door, and there's not many. It's a massive facility. It's our building. So long story short, my dad decided, we've got a nephew who's got autism, and my dad's got a grandson who's got autism. There was a massive market, a massive niche, and a massive need for people to have access to mainstream provision, for people to have access to this building in the heart of Liverpool. So that was for people who like autism, which was a main thing at the time, autistic children. And session started an hour a week, and it just bigger and bigger. And it was coming to a point where the numbers coming through that session, which was only a couple of hours a week, was a lot more than what was going on for the other hours in this building. COVID hit, and there was a little bit of tension between us and the other people in the gym, and we decided to move on. It wasn't really the best atmosphere to have our audience, our clientele, like family. So we were going into the gym, and it wasn't, a very welcoming place. So we ended up with no home. But I'll lead a little bit more into it. But that was the start of us. That's how it happened, really.
How many people did you initially have going to those first few sessions?
So a handful of people, 12 kids, 15 kids. I was just volunteering at the time. It was my dad's session, and he had a couple of coaches from the gym working with him, and then a couple of died off. So volunteer based. But my dad vetted a lot of people because the sessions weren't just everyone, like in terms of coaches just getting involved, because it was from such a boxing orientated place. A lot of the coaches getting involved. It was boxing that was doing the work, if you like, because we've seen many positive aspects of the children. After a few sessions, you think, you can see a real change quite early on. So we knew we had something quite early on. But I was only volunteering at the time. But as time went on, I left my job full time to come on with my dad and to do a full time, which has been really, really exciting, really good.
Yeah. So tell us now the exact location that Inclusive Hub is at, and what times you train.
So we're open 7 days a week now. We're based in the Kirkdale Community Centre. So we have a room that we've turned into a boxing fitness suite, if you like. It's not a boxing gym, but it looks like a boxing gym, but it's not. So it's like a fitness suite, and we have a sensory room, and we have an upstairs football pitch currently, which is very good. They've been very kind with us here in the centre because we didn't have anything, and we were doing sessions on green spaces. So we've come here. We've been here now 2 years now. But yeah, and a 7-day operational. So in the morning between around about 8 a.m. to around about 11, We'll have mental health sessions, so it'll be local men and women who we know. It's mostly men, to be fair, because we do have women groups that will come in. It's like an over 60 club, if you like, but these guys will come in. I mean, now we've got Frank, Joe, Larry. Sound like three gangsters, and these fellas have had issues in terms of COVID, lost partners. Once it's found out it's got cancer, so they will come into a boxing session or in their own time. So that's the start of it. They'll have a cup of coffee and whatever else. After that, we have sessions, paid work. So we'll fund the morning session. We have paid work with schools, so schools will pay us then to put a session on in terms of what they need. So they want to have a target for attendance, or they want to have a target for overall appearance, or they might have a target for behaviour, whatever it may be. The schools will come in, we'll look at that, and we'll bespoke a session for them. And that goes up until, we usually do about 3 sessions a day. And with the schools, the numbers we probably have anywhere up to around about 24, 25. So we're doing a lot of numbers over the week. That's Monday to Friday. And then Saturday, Sunday, we have the Inclusive Hub, which is open for anyone with an additional need. There's 2 sessions there, which we have around about 60, 70 people on the 2 days. But we've also branched out in terms of, we do outreach work now. So we have a community arm, if you like. And what happens, we have a ladies group that will go out and they will speak with young girls and do sessions with them. Looks like Natasha Jonas' mum, she's going to start working with us in terms of trying to help the girls get trade. So it's just branching into all sorts of lovely different avenues now, mate.
I'm absolutely blown away. I have been from day one, and I wear this T-shirt with phenomenal pride. So some people know, some people don't. It's sort of my affinities, I guess, with the sort of world of disabilities. But I have a brother who has learning difficulties and also mental health condition. He's very limited what he can do. He goes to he lives in a care home. But throughout his life, he's now in his early 50s, and throughout his life, we had to rely on the generosity of groups such as this. Obviously not to the magnitude of what Inclusive Hub does, but basically anyone who was willing to get a venue together, offer the time, dedication to offer them the development. And so what's really impressed me is how you've kind of, I guess, gone from maybe the autistic disability through to the entire range of disabilities. I see videos of people in wheelchairs, I see people with learning difficulties, I see people with all sorts. And whether it be a case of it's a great platform for rehabilitation, or those 4 essential strands of development which we all need in life, disability or without, which is physical development, social interaction, social development, mental development, and then technical, which is the actual sort of boxing side of things as well. So learning a new trade to an extent. And it seems that Inclusive Hub is willing to take on anybody from any disability and have a go and try and allow them that development. Would that be a fair statement?
Yeah, that's beautifully put, Paul. Yeah, you can tell you're a writer, because I mean, sometimes we can't really put it into words. But yes, mate, you put it beautifully. That's what we do. And my dad started it, and it was just the basics of boxing. It's non-contact, it's non-competitive. The basic mechanics of boxing and how much that can help people. A lot of people that come in, they don't, well, not a lot, but there's a section of people that don't like boxing. That's fine. But it's the interaction, as you say, on one of the topics of social interaction with other people. And also for us as well, it's like the ripple effect of it's not just that, it's the whole, like, families talking to each other and engaging with each other that they mightn't ever do. It's people giving advice to other people in the same position that they've been previously. In the scientific factor, we've worked with John Moore's University, the sports psychology factor, and it's not just hit and hope technique, it's really thought about, and it's having major positive ramifications in terms of medical costs and stuff like that. So it's great that this small seed has grew into something from so simple into something now has evolved into. It's a really positive force.
Love it. Absolutely love it. And the other thing as well was for 10 years I worked at the Down Syndrome Association. I was a director there, and so brilliant. One thing I helped set up was football and tennis for people with Down syndrome, which started off, it was quite tough to get going, and then it basically escalated throughout the whole of the United Kingdom, which which was phenomenal. And I've been doing the writing now for sort of a decade plus, and but I still have a lot of friends with Down syndrome who I keep in regular contact with, and knowing that there's people in your area who have Down syndrome and any other disabilities, that there's a big door open there is brilliant. So you mentioned about Tasha Jonas, obviously a phenomenal lady, one of the nicest people you could ever meet, but she can box as well. Holder of current unified world champion. Couldn't happen to a better person. But there's loads of other very well-known boxers as well. You've got other world champions of note: Enzo Maccarinelli, Ebony Bridges. Tell us about, I guess, how important the input of celebrity faces has been to generate, I guess, greater marketing traction for Inclusive Hub.
Yeah, one of my old bosses who I used to work for is at the time when I worked for him, I got on with him, but not as well as after I finished working for him. And it was a sales job. And he said to me recently, you should have gone and, well, you found your niche in terms of this marketing sort of aspect. But marketing's a powerful tool, but I always try to say to people, just come along to a session and have a look at it. And then it's up to you what you want to do. We're an open, we're an open page. If you want to help in any way, and we'll look at it and see if that makes sense. When we moved into this building 2 years ago, we had to sort of look strategically how we can sustain the business. So you need different revenue types, you need different types of exposure. All that had to come into play. So I touched on earlier, we have a community arm, which is the ladies go out and look after community activities for us, half-term activities and food hampers and stuff. But we also have a sort of an arm where I haven't given Bill a title, but I've got a guy called Bill Moran. And Bill has spent a lot of time at Matchroom. He's been involved in boxing for about 40 years plus. And he gets our T-shirt out and about. So he spoke, I know Enzo, I don't think he spoke to Enzo, but like Ebony, we spoke to them, showed them what we do. And it's about showing people what we do. And if they want to help, like yourself, and just wearing a T-shirt is great, because the more people who wear what we do, the more chance of it getting sort of put into the mainstream eye where everyone's doing what we do. Because I think everyone really, or every city should have an inclusive hub there.
Listen, I think definitely. It should be replicated like amoeba style, split in half and keep splitting in half and moving all around the world. I think as a provision, as a platform, it's an essential need in society without a doubt. And just touching upon there, you said about funding, what people need to realise about the world of charities is that the days of rattling a tin and hoping to get a few coppers together and basically make enough for a few sandwiches. Now, it's not. That proper, well-run charitable organisations are best run as businesses. And when I say that, I mean from the financial side, you still have an operating need which needs to be cost. You still need to create what's called full cost recovery budgets, where whatever you're spending, you need to try and claw back, hence the need for fundraising, application, etc. But whoever's watching this and you've got some money in your pocket, or you own a big company, and you're thinking, right, who are we going to support as charity of the year next? Or you're looking to try and shovel some money into a great place. Well, listen, my advice to you is get your ass down to Inclusive Hub. Go meet Liam, speak to the guys, see what they're doing at grassroots level, 7 days a week. There's no excuse if you're thinking of making a donation or supporting long term. And go down there and see what these guys are doing. So, listen.
Thanks, Paul.
Right.
Thank you.
How many people do you have in your books now?
I'm just looking at them now, including if you want me to know how many registrations that we've had this past year, I'd say around about 2,000.
Wow. Wow.
Separate different registration. So that's a mixture of everything. That's a mixture of working with mainstream schools that some of the children might have an additional need. That's other numbers in terms of our own. We'll have our own initiatives. So as I say, we have a ladies group, women's group, empowering women. So that's basically women who have had many different issues in the past, and they'll have meetings and they'll do things together. We've got men's groups, all the initiatives. You can ask me for every registration. I say it's around about 2,000, which is great.
Absolutely sensational figures. Absolutely sensational. And long may that continue to prosper and expand. So, tell me maybe a success story or two. Just I guess as an example, say someone who's lacked confidence or ability when they've come through, and then I guess how they've transformed or progressed.
There's not to sound arrogant, Paul, there's quite a lot, and every person that comes through is a case study. but sometimes it's hard to pinpoint just one because it's that fast moving. I'll give you the latest one in my mind, the latest one. So we've got a guy working for us part time now called Wayne. Wayne was referred by a project that we love them as well. I think they love us, which is Damien John Kelly House. They look after men. It's like a rehab centre, but so much more to it. Anyway, they do great work. Wayne had finished his time there, and we sort of said, spend some time with us. He's been working with us now for a while, and he's got many stories to tell. This guy, and he's turned the corner. And he's done fantastically well. Anyway, he brought his son in last weekend. Anyway, after 10 minutes of spending a bit of time with his son, he spent some time with my dad and whatever else. I had a chat with him. He got involved and he took part in the session. And at the end of the session, I brought him in. I said, "Do you want a t-shirt?" She said, "Yeah, may as well." Give him a t-shirt. Sure enough, the next day he was at the session. So anyway, he's been coming for a couple of weekends, and my dad's partner works in a school locally. And you come in to see my dad over some reason. God, that's such and such. You can't do anything with him in our school. Can't do anything. He's a terror. He's this, he's that, and that. He's like a mouse in the gym with us. He's just loving it. You can see that his life's actually good. There's a lot of children the same age as him who've got ailments, who can't talk, might be deaf, may have Down syndrome, learning difficulties, whatever it may be. And he must have come and looked down, oh my God, I'm lucky. Do you know what I mean? I've got a good life. Why am I? And it just changed him. And that was like after the session, I thought, that's brilliant, that. And after speaking to him recently again, you can see the difference already. His appearance is better. He's coming in on time. And his dad's actually says, "Oh, it's great." And that's just off the top of my head, off the top of my head.
I love that. I think you get probably quite a few parents, siblings, teachers, whoever coming in and saying things like, "Listen, this is their kind of ceiling level of ability here. They're not going to get beyond that. So just do the best you can," sort of thing. I'm sure that for many of those conversations, you've had a little smile to yourself and thought, "Yeah, we'll see how that one goes," and you've proved them wrong.
Yeah, do you know what, Paul? Like, my dad is one of them guys who just takes people for whatever they are, and he believes strongly that everyone should be given the same chance, the same platform to thrive, which is right, isn't he? And in here, you are given that platform, and the positive results you see are amazing. We work a lot with schools, and there's a school we work with, Bankview. They come to us. They take 3 sessions a week with us. One of our big partners. They come to us, got this troubled kid, blah 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 blah. He's at an age now where he needs to be sort of looking into work. And anyway, my dad just said, "Yeah, you get him in. Well, you can come 5 days a week." Blah blah. I don't even know what this kid's like. I'm busy. You're busy, and I've got bad by me, but I've got to babysit this kid now, and he sounds like he's a nightmare. So after everything got agreed, they sent us a file. His file was like that chunk. That. Oh God. Gets the kid in after a couple of sessions. He's been an absolute dream. Absolute dream. He's coaching for us now. He's just been, he's gone to college, so he still comes in to volunteer. He's probably going to be getting paid work from us soon. The school was delighted just by just being here. No special, we have him, we give him certain jobs to do, so he's getting used to sort of work in the future. But he's come out of his shell. His appearance is great. He's talking to people a lot more. And I remember saying, my dad said to him, "What was your problem in school, lad?" And he went, "Just didn't like getting out of bed." So I said, "Who likes getting out of bed?" But there was a big scientific thing about the fact they didn't want to get out of bed. He needed some sort of stimulus, but through boxing and just through being with us. But now he might be with us forever, but he'll probably lead on to like other further jobs, obviously, further education, and it'll be the springboard for his life just by spending. I think he's been with us about 6 months. But it's a real, that's what you think, that's what you do, that's what you're here for, as well as the other sort of severe learning difficulties. But there's nothing wrong with this kid. He's just lazy, and he's got a little bit of autism and this and that. But it's such a wide spectrum, autistic spectrum. And once you get him in a routine and give him a little bit of pride in his appearance and gets exercise involved in the social aspect, he's skyrocketed now. So we're strong believing in it,
That's absolutely beautiful. So good to hear. And in a time where we watch television and there is so much crap on there, so much negativity. Whoever's going to watch this is going to be like having a turbocharged, intense hit of positivity, and I'm going to recommend that everyone watches this several times over. Final question to you, as a sign off to the interview, I guess. To any person with a disability, what's the message to them? Why should they come down and give training a go with you guys?
Well, not just us, but anyone, anyone nationally. It's about, I mean, this is to coaches and to teachers and to parents and to whoever, and even the children. Just have that platform. You will find your niche. With boxing, it will give you a lot. It'll give you a huge amount. Just non-contact boxing. No one's hitting each other or anything like that. And just give it a try. If you don't like it, that's fine. But you will lead on to other stuff like swimming or running or whatever it may be. But if you can walk into not just a hub, but if you can walk into any boxing gym, then you've won. You've done it. Just walk in there, and then everything else takes care of itself.
Superb.
That's my advice, really.
We can only say a huge thank you on behalf of Softbox for a fantastic interview. We wish you the very, very best, and let's catch up again soon. Maybe next time we'll go live in a session, and you can give us a little taste of what the lads are doing in the gym, the lads and the lasses.
There's one there now. If you want to have a quick look.
Yeah, go on, flip it around. Absolutely. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Fantastic. Here we go, live and exclusive.
Let's see if I can turn this around for you. I'll just, I don't know what you can see. Can you see? Can you see what's going on? Or you look?
Woo!
Yeah. It's on the back. You all right, Caroline? Yeah. How are you? What's going on?
There's me sitting on my ass in the chair.
All right, John. So they're all having a good go. He's okay.
Look at that, Jim.
You all right, Jonathan? Give us a wave. You're half asleep this morning, aren't you? Oh, he's got a comment. He does this every session where he'll come in, and it's like 10 minutes first. But yeah, so that's the gym, mate.
Absolutely superb. Absolutely superb. Oh, mate, we can only thank you, like I said, once again for your time, and wish everyone the absolute best moving forward. Like I said, let's catch up maybe in a few months' time, and you can give us an update on what's going on. But in the meantime, listen, all the very best going up to the seasonal period. I think the best gift of Christmas you guys can give is just by being open and offering that platform.
Oh, thanks, Paul. Listen, thanks very much, mate. It's been a pleasure to actually speak to you. And all the best, mate, and I'll speak to you very soon, I'm sure.
Thanks a lot, mate. All the best, mate.
Cheers, mate. Cheers. All the best, mate.
Bye.
Take care, mate.